All right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom. Sister Deborah coming with a awesome message this evening. You see me sitting up in the bed here. Uh, it's because I'm really not feeling well. But when the Father gave me that message this morning, I said, "This is hey, it's that time to pull this on out." The Father gave me an awesome message, and the message He want it to be received by the one you're going to learn something about what you thought you knew. And I know for a fact you didn't know, but this is why he gave me the message because Sister Deborah didn't know it was at this point. To me, it's a good feeling. To many, it's not going to be. But to me, I feel that it's a good feeling in my spirit because so much closure is what we as the spiritual seed need in this day and time so we can run on. We need a spiritual closure, not a fleshly closure or something that cause us to feel completed in the flesh. No, 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 no. It's what we need to complete us in the spirit, that we may run the race in which were given unto us, that we were called to, appointed, and anointed, ordained, foreknew before we were in our mother's womb. And our Yah want us to know that He created it from a level in which we are not going to have it all. We are not going to have the answers, and we're not going to have the A to Z. He is the A to Z. He is A to Z. We just need to go from A to B. Because when you're moving from A to B, you're moving somewhere, whether you know it or not. Because you're moving it in the spirit. And when you're moving from A to B in the spirit, it's like you're already to Z. Because see, when that spirit moves you, he's moving you as he please, not you. You might look at it and say, but to A to B, yes, thank you, Father, for letting me reach B. Because I know it's a place unlike no other. I know that it's a place like no other. And he, the Father, is A to Z. But if he gives me to B, I'm in there. I'm in there in the way that I've been moved from A to B. I don't have to go to C and D if it's not what he wants for me. It's a lot to handle just going from A to B. So I'm speaking to someone out there, but I'm speaking to that one that he wanted me to give this message to. When he woke me up, it was like 2:35 somewhere in the morning, y'all. I got up. I didn't get up. When I say I got up, I woke up and he was dealing with me, y'all. He was dealing with me on this message I'm about to bring forth. But this message, again, is to that one. Many times I try to explain to people what that one means. A lot of people have no idea what the one is, but they include themselves. But tonight, it's going to break every door, tear every door down that's trying to portray that they're walking in light. They're walking in spirit and truth, and they are nowhere in sight. Hello to everyone in the live. It's good to see you. So when he gave me this here, I was up for a long time, y'all. And you know why? Because he wouldn't let off. He wouldn't get off of it. So I said, Father, that's going to be the message I'm going to bring today. Now, I was going to bring something else, but I'm glad he woke me up in the early morning hour because he's the only one knows what he wants to say to that one. He got something to say to that one, and he's going to say it to that one. Okay, so Sister Deborah, wants to say first and foremost what he was saying to me. He said, "Tell them, the one, he see it, you. He see what you are doing. It's not the type of see where you have to see, hear, behold, understand. No, his seeing is you from A to B in him. He don't have to see you to be did, and doing all this. He wants you to back up and beg out. Because today you're going to find out Yah has something for you to know today. Has not been like no other day in your living. He wants you to know that you don't have to keep crossing your T's and dotting your I's in the midst of people. He said he don't want you to do it amongst your co-workers, amongst your family, amongst your community, amongst your place of worship, in your household. Stop. Let it all go. If things does not tamper with your spiritual mission, let it go. Because you in that end moment that Yah wants me to speak to you about. That's where you at. You are in that moment, a special moment, a special place that he wants you to know about today. You see? So him waking me up, it made me feel really good, because in spite of him giving me something he's given me several times, he clammed on top of it, turned to flip. And I mean, he was saying it to my spirit, y'all, at a higher level, to where it just gave me so much joy. It made me realize that stop trying to cross the T's and dot the I's. So let them know that you don't have to do all that. I got you. I got you. Because what I'm about to say, guess what, y'all? They can't get it no way. They can't inherit it. They can't get it. No way, he said the Most High Yah. He said they can't get it. So while we're running around here trying to cross the T's and dot the I's to make sure that we are putting out spirit and truth and the light, and y'all telling me in this early morning hour, you don't have to do that, because they're not going to get it. I'm trying to go back up to here where I was at on this here. Let me. But he's saying, so don't put so much on yourself. Don't let it go. If things in your household is not interfering with your spiritual walk with Yah, let it go. Let it be whatever it want to be. Don't argue with it. Don't fuss with it. Don't wrestle with it. Let it go. It has no power. It has no authority over what Yah is doing in this day and time in you. Okay? Being so, he want us to grip. Let me get this here. He want us to grip the fact that we're doing too much crossing our T's and dotting our I's. He said a lot of things that we're saying it to a bunch of people that has the ears of the world. That's why you can't get the proper you can't get the proper, how would I say it, understanding of who these people are. He said because they are remember how I told y'all about the brick wall? That's similar to what he's saying. He said you're trying to feed the world what they cannot receive. And that's what this is the whole idea of him waking me up. He wanted me to know, Deborah, you can't give these people nothing. They can't inherit anything. So this is what he's going to bring forth to you, so you'll understand why it's important. In your household, let everything go. When he said that, he's saying, don't be out here trying to cross T's and dot I's like you are God himself. Stand down. All these things are popping up on my stand down and only be what you're supposed to be to him. Follow his every move for you and how he wants to direct you and how he is directing you. So he's wanting to you to understand that it's no more time in living that deals with trying to make sure everything has to have its T's crossed and its I's dotted. And y'all, it's going to blow your mind, because I would have never thought of, not this way. This required me being awakened by the Most High Yah. And he was saying, Just like a lot of people on YouTube, they got thousands and thousands of millions of subscribers and millions of likes and plenty of support, but they don't have him at all on their page. They don't represent him. You see? So he's saying these same people will come onto your page or come on to listen to what you said, see them to be the same. You get what I'm saying? He said, you don't understand why you have been elected and chosen for a time as this. And this is what he wants me to bring forth to you. Woo, Father, y'all, help me, help me, help me. I'm getting chills here, y'all. He's saying that we're trying to cross the T's and dot the I's to make sure everything is covered, that everybody can understand and everybody can get it and break it down. He said you can't do that. It is only given by him. That's what his right hand is for. That's what his right hand is for. And we're going to get into it and it's going to all make sense. And you're going to say, well, I would have never thought of it like that. Because we're in the end day time, perilous times, tribulation, lawlessness, lying as they never lied before, all kind of wickedness and evil and judgment of the Father is on the earth. He said, but they missed it. The whole overall, even to the point of his prophecies. We missed his prophecy and didn't see the power behind it. Why? Because we thought it had to go the way we had heard or what was told to us or what is written for us to read is just like what is told to us. What is written is similar to what is being told to us. But we have something greater. We were to be the ones that would hear the Spirit from the inside telling us that which is on the outside. Ooh, we in trouble. But Yah said he come to bring you news. It's nothing. The reason why it's important for you to don't cross your T's and dot your I's trying to get your co-workers to understand something that Yah gave you. Your household to understand something that God gave you. I'm saying God, but I'm, Yah, you see? So I'm saying, he said in your community, in the place of worship, stop it. It's over. Now you must understand what is being put out. It is not start everything over and giving people, trying to get them to understand spirit and truth, trying to get people to understand the light, trying to get people to understand unity. He said, no unity can't come into no oneness unless you are the one in the body of Hamashiach. There's outside the body, you cannot teach it, preach it, give it. You cannot do nothing to it or for it, thinking that it can come into the body. You can't. Stop trying to bring everybody into the body. You're in the body. So it's not, he said he is not calling you to bring people into the body because it can't be done. And then when you hear what's going on, you're going to say, oh, I never would have thought of that. But see, he said in the end days, the mystery will be given unto the prophets because it's finished. It said that in Revelation 10. It's finished. I've been telling y'all it's finished for the longest. But what he mean by finished, you know how where it had said, denying the power therein? Guess what, y'all? Everything was based on the power. Everything. And it ain't for you to transfer the power to nobody. He said, cross that T, dot that I. You can't give it to him. You can't, it's nothing you can say, do. You can't hand it to him. You can't break it down as low as you can get it. People are so far on the outside. If you're on the inside and they're on the outside trying to get in. I know y'all you probably saw it. I didn't watch it, but I've seen it before. The Walking Dead. How the people are on the inside and all these dead, dummy, whatever, dead people are trying to get inside. Do they always get in? Most of the time, yes. They always get they people. They always end up killing most of them. So this is what he's saying. Stop trying to bring the dead. into what is living eternal already. You got what it is to live. Don't let nobody tell you who you are, what you are, what you done in life, how you have a horrible life. Don't let nobody tell you none of that. You know why? Let me tell you why. Y'all want me to let you know he holds you blameless. He said, Deborah, if that was the case, David not only committed adultery, David participated in murder twice. Mm. But wasn't that David hooping and hollering for the whole book of Psalms? Didn't y'all make David king? You see, y'all is telling you he handpicked his with the right hand power. Woo! When you go to Matthew chapter 1, what does he say? David, the generation of Abraham, Isaac, David. But it says Yeshua HaMashiach first. Letting you know that these are the one that's handpicked from the kingdom. And they're going to be fully held blameless. You see? So he's saying when we trying to cross our T's and dot our I's, we're trying to make it so right for everybody. And it has not been given to them. That example was a beautiful, because I'm about to kind of mention it again, a beautiful example about the living dead. That how they not dummies, they dead people trying to get into a house where there's 5 in there that's alive, and most likely all 4 are going to end up being bitten and eaten, and only one going to be alive. That's how it goes. You see, y'all said that's the reality. When they putting stuff in films, they're getting it from somewhere. A lot of stuff you all might not understand. They could be stealing things from the strolls as well, because they got them. You see? So he want us to not put so much emphasis trying to make ourselves right. How dare you think that you can be any righter than what is in you? If he is greater in you than he that is in the world, what are you trying to make great in you? That's why I say don't go crossing your T's and dotting your I's. Because if he's greater in you, how could you be any greater? Or could you try to be greater than that by trying to tame situations and trying to get situations to fall under the guideline of what is righteous, what is just, what is in light, what is spirit and truth? Why are we doing these things? Why are we conducting ourselves in a way where we thinking that we supposed to make it a way so people can plainly see it, so their eyes can be open, and so that they can see things clearly? No, wait till you find out where we at. We are not there, you guys, and we're not going to enter back into that time period. We're beyond that. It's time to be about the Most High Yah. And it's not so much as being about him. If he's in you, it's already about him. So this is what he was explaining to me. Tell them that they don't have to do all this extra trying to make sure, they got the things all T's crossed and I's dotted. It don't matter what people say to you. They can say, oh, when you did this, and you used to be a drug addict. Oh, you used to be in jail, or you used to do this, used to steal, or used to rob, or used to no matter what, you committed adultery, or you've been married 2 or 3 times. Don't let people interfere with your living. You know why? Y'all got your life. He wants me to tell you that. Because if he had to go back, no one paid attention to how Moses kept on taking Israel's side over Yah. No one ever, I have not heard not one person on this platform since I've been on here teach the fact that the reason why Moses didn't make it to the promised land is because he kept on being disobedient. See? You see? But it don't make him not being able to have a seat in the kingdom. Because you're already in the kingdom before you got down here, Moses. You just come down here to fulfill the will of the Most High Yah in what he wanted done on the earth. So this is the good news that Yah has for you. But he even gave me something even better than that. And the thing is that we forsake something. And how we did that, I don't know. And that is the power. Guess what, y'all? That's all should be preached is the power. That's the only thing on the earth that's worth hearing is the power. And we're going to get into it. And you know what I'm going to tell you what I said. I said, Father, you mean to tell me all this time it was always what Yeshua said it was? Even throughout the time I've been on here, I've been saying the same thing. But he wants me to tell you today, it's about the power. And he wants me to let you know the power rests in the light. The power rests in spirit and truth. The power rests in the gospel, and the gospel is the power, and the power is Christ himself. He's carrying the right hand of the Father, all power. So when we sit here teaching and trying to preach and trying to give this and break this and break this and break this, he said, come on down. Come on back down to reality. Give them only what he gives you. Because they'll never get it when they're trying to get it. They'll never get it while they're trying to get it. Only one can transfer that is the Father himself. And the only one will do that is Yah himself. So as I was sitting here 2-something in the morning, and I'm going to say wrestling, because I'm like all in the bed trying, but yeah, okay, I remember that. All this was said, but when he leveled that thing off to me, let's go there. Let's go. Okay. I want to first and foremost, I want to hear again. These are verses that we are in. We have went over, but this is why he had me to do it today, to bring back that power at the level where it should be today. You know what we did? We dropped the power. We think we can teach this thing without the power. We got to understand it's the power that's preaching the gospel. Oh, we in trouble. We in some trouble, y'all. It's the power. That's why you can't get people to balance it and understand who you are, what you're saying. This is why, y'all, because it's given to those that only entering into the narrow gate. Let's go. Let's start off with Matthew's chapter 24, verse 23. Matthew's chapter 24, Matthew's chapter 24, verse 14. And watch this here, y'all. And guess what made me feel good when I got this? I said, so you mean to tell me we die? He said, yep, that's where you at. I said, that's what I'm talking about. Matthew's chapter 24 and verse 14. We've been here before, but now I'm going to show you what he means. Verse 14, Matthew's chapter 24 and verse 14. Let's go to 14. Matthew's chapter 24 and verse 14. Now, y'all know we went through over this over and over and over and over. Watch this, y'all. And this gospel. Which gospel is that, Father, y'all? And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. The Father wants you to be checked here. He's saying, watch this here. and the power of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world as a witness. We that are the witness of that power. That's those that's out. I've been off a few days, and I've listened to videos that two of Yah's servants, they was putting out good lessons, good messages. I know this is what it is of Yah to them. They put out some good messages, and I enjoyed them, and I felt good because I was like, Father, even when I'm speaking, I can listen. I know that they're in there, and this message is dedicated to you all because He wants you to know it's the power that is the gospel. And if it's the power of and it is the gospel, don't hurt yourself trying to give it to this world, because the world gonna come to your page and it ain't gonna even make no sense. And He want to let you know, if they don't have spirit and truth, and they don't have the light is the power, spirit and truth is the power, they ain't got nothing to say to you. You see, they on the outside, like the movie they got, The Walking Dead. They on the outside dead, trying to get in. Woo! You see what I'm saying? So He wants you to know that, listen to it, verse 14. And this gospel, you got to understand with the gospel, people. And those servants that's out teaching, know this, grip this, and don't let it go. Your words is the power. And this here is the end days. Matthew 24 and 14 is telling you what's going on here and now. You have the power. You're the witness of the power that's being spoken. And all the power is going to be also seen, but they ain't going to understand it. Look at all this tribulation out here. Look at all this perilous time. Look at this judgment of the Most High Yah. Look at lawlessness. Do you see them? They act like they don't see nothing. They act like that. He said because the power wasn't meant for them. Woo! And you're going to find that out today. That the power is Christ. When He made Christ Himself, He made Him with word, He made Him with power, and He made Him with His spirit, and He gave Him as the helper to Jesus, as the world called it, Yeshua. He gave Him the word, He gave Him the power, and He gave Him His spirit. You need some help, bro. I'm coming down with you. That's what He did. And that's what He did. When He came down, He didn't come down going to and fro. Because listen, let me go. Let's take you out there. If the Most High Yah had to come down and left Yeshua, as the word called Jesus, on one side and Christ on the other, guess what? The world would have to end. Because He would have to fight in the spirit all the principality, including Satan. Not fight them, but destroy them. So He came down in the flesh. Because if He come down in the spirit, it's over. People don't get that, Father. And I'm not sad about it no more. That's why He had to come in the flesh. Because if you come in the spirit, you be dead. Don't mess with Him. You don't know Him? Get your tail somewhere and sit down and go somewhere else. Because that's who He is. He's all power. Now, what does it look like? He's all power and He's coming and He's in principalities and high places. He's all in the air and everything. He been and killed everything now. He would have been and destroyed principality, Satan, everybody. So He had to get in the flesh to get the job done. Which is the job, it's His will. A lot of people don't understand that. You can't live and see Him. What makes you think He's going to come down and be God? No, He has to be in the flesh to help the man's sin, but he has to raise that flesh up to show through the power roots. Why didn't Yeshua get up himself? He couldn't. He was flesh. Because if he could have got up, why did he go down? Can you answer that? If he can rise up, why did he go down? He went down with a fight. Take away this bitter cup, not mine, but yours. Why have thou forsaken me? That flesh went down as flesh. But when he rose up with all power. Christ risen him up. It's the power, teachers out there, of spirit and truth. It's the power, people out there who have the light. It's the power that can lay you down. That same power that lay you down is the same one that picks you up. It's going to rise you up, raise you up. Check. It's the power. So when you speak in spirit and truth, it ain't no play. When you speaking in the light and the light, it ain't no play. That's why I told people over and over and over, get your backpack. Put your stuff, your food in there, your spiritual food, because you're going to need it. So he wanted those servants that's out making videos. He see that you're doing an excellent job. But he wants you to know, don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself in the flesh. Trying to reveal the spirit. Woo! Because he that's spirit and truth is all power. He revealed things himself. That's why he got you. To in the end days, hear it. Matthew 24 and verse 14. Watch what it says. And the gospel of the kingdom, the power of the kingdom, shall be preached. That's who you all are. That's the service of Yah that's out preaching spirit and truth in the light. That's who you are. And you had no idea. That's you right there. Matthew 24, verse 14. That's you. Preaching in all the world for a witness unto the nations. You're speaking it on a platform that goes all over the nations. You speak in spirit and truth. You speak in all power. That's that power. That's the power, y'all. It was always the power. That's why he said denying the power they're in. Because they are preaching, teaching, not just today. They've been doing it since the beginning of time. But they've been doing it without one thing. Because they didn't know. The gospel is the power. So all these religions and all these denominations and all these different teachings, guess what? They're doing it without the power. And the power ain't doing it with them. See, that's why he said, the time is now and the time shall come in the last days when the true worshipers shall worship him in spirit and in truth. He didn't call out the time he was and the time to come when the real ones, the true ones, going to pull up. Woo! They're going to be preaching the gospel of that power. You see, you're supposed to be preaching the power that rests in spirit and truth. You don't have to go getting the power looking for it. It's in spirit and truth. That's why people are not going to understand what you're saying. They're going to try to break it down in any other way. They'll try to come through the back door. They'll come down the basement window. They'll come through the crawl space. They'll try to come through the basement door, the side windows of the house, but they ain't going to come through that front door where the power resides. They ain't coming to the front door. You see, they can't come through the front door. You see? So here it says, watch this here. And then shall the end come. Right now, the Father told me at 2 something this morning that's where you all are at. You all are preaching the gospel that is said here in Matthew chapter 24 and verse 14. So tell those who are spirit and truth, Deborah, who's carrying the light. They are carrying the power of the kingdom, which is my word in spirit and in truth. Watch this. Romans chapter 1. Romans chapter 1, verse 16. All the time this was the power, y'all. That's why they can't imitate it. That's why they can't get it. So people settling for whatever they can hear that makes their flesh feel that they got it. Okay? So when I get to Romans chapter 1, he brought this one up. He said, Deborah, you know about when it was said. Romans chapter 1, verse 16. I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. Where's Yeshua at? Where's Yeshua? Huh? Where's Yeshua at? Because the power, y'all, only came in Christ. Praise the mighty God. That was Emmanuel, Yah with us. He came in the spirit, the power, and the word is who he is. And he dropped down in the flesh of Yeshua so he can complete the first mission. And in order for him to complete the first mission, he also had to speak the word. Woo! Why? Because the word was speaking in him. Y'all thought it was Yeshua, wasn't it? Y'all thought it was Yeshua. Nah, it was Christ all the time. The power. That's why Yeshua kept saying, the kingdom of heaven, the gospel of the kingdom of heaven is at hand. That same gospel is at hand today. It came in as spirit and truth in the end days. It's the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in the end days. Who's as a witness. So they're not only going to hear it, they're going to see it in its form of a power. Somebody in trouble. Somebody is in deep trouble. Okay? Now watch this here. Watch what Paul says. Romans chapter 1 and verse 16. I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. But wait a minute. Why can't it be the gospel of Yeshua HaMashiach? Because see, y'all wrong. Because it was, the gospel is not Yeshua. Yeshua kept saying, for the kingdom, the gospel of the kingdom of heaven is at hand. That's letting you know he ain't saying he the gospel. Yeshua said over and over and over and over and over in Matthew, Luke, Mark, and John, the kingdom, the gospel of the kingdom of heaven is at the right hand. It's at hand. Y'all missed it. The power was always in Genesis chapter 1, always was Yah's right hand. All power. You missed it. That's the same one Yeshua was coming down here hooping and hollering about. Wait a minute, y'all. The gospel of the kingdom is at hand. The power of the kingdom is now at hand on the earth. And that's what is happening today. The gospel is being preached to all nations. And let me tell you how smooth it is. Y'all let these platforms be here just so millions of people can be on it, but one can be representing him. Ooh, it don't mean because the gospel is going to be preached to all the nations, the whole nation is going to see it. No, they ain't going to have to see it. It's going to be seen as a witness to who? Those who are those who are spirit and truth. They're speaking the power. That's the witness within it. People, you ain't gonna see the gospel as you think you're gonna see it. You ain't gonna know what it is, so you know you ain't gonna know it's the gospel. How about that? For the whole world to see. And then the end. So you all out there who making videos speaking spirit and truth with the light, you're fulfilling Matthew 24 and verse 14. You're laboring, you're working to get spirit and truth out. So he says this: don't cross your T's and don't dot your I's. Just keep going, keep running. Because you'll be finding yourself trying to cross your T's and dot your I's to the world and those who are not in the light, those who are not in spirit and truth. A lot of us will skip everything and go straight to the platforms and start teaching and preaching. What about your household, your babies, your wife, your husband? They don't do that. Your mom, your dad, nobody want to give them what you got. Those would be some that you would least pour out what spirit and truth is in the light. They don't get it, but at least you know you hit home. You see? It ain't meant for you to cross your T on them and dot their I's, making sure you're saying it right, making sure you're placing it right, making sure you're speaking it right. Say it and stand away from those people. Don't let them question you. I'm going to tell y'all something that shot, and I did this. I know it's funny to me, though. I started it about 5 years ago. I can't explain it. It always worked. When people would get on there and they would say something on my page, like far out, just don't make any sense. First thing I say, learn to sleep with your mouth closed. Maybe then when you wake up, you've been there and learned something. Do you know that runs them away? I said, Father, you know you something else. They never write another message. Never. And I wore that out. I took advantage of it because it kept them wondering, what does she mean by that? What is she saying? Sleep with my mouth closed. How she know my mouth was open? See, it makes them go into Lulu land. See? And then you wake up, maybe you would know something because your mouth is busy running and you ain't kept it closed long enough. So by the time you get a good sleep, you wake up, you've been and learned something now because your mouth is running while you sleep. So it works, especially with the males, y'all. Oh man, they don't come over that way. And you know what else a lot of them don't come over in? Spirit and truth. Spirit and truth is split how would I say it? The split the Empire State Building in half, y'all. You know why? It's the power. It's the power. And always been. So let's hear what Romans chapter 1 and verse 16. I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. For it is the power. Woo! What did he just do? He did something that every last one of you all went over your head. Paul called out something. Don't forget, Paul wasn't the 12. So he wasn't there side by side. Listen to what Paul is saying, because Paul is saying exactly what Sister Deborah said, y'all gave her this morning. Listen to what he said. He said, for I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. Now, watch what he said. Now, why didn't say the gospel of Jesus or Yeshua? Watch this here. He said Christ, because he knows who that Christ is. For it is the power of Yah, all the way until salvation to everyone that believeth. Didn't I just tell you all? Those that are out here serving and speaking on behalf of spirit and truth and the light, Paul just spoke to you. Paul just spoke to you. He just told you the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of Yah unto salvation to everyone. Everyone. What did I tell you? That one. You see what I tell you? That one. I'm out. That believe it. Because believe it is the brand that Yah has branded you with to come down here. Okay? These are the ones that Christ come to use the power to redeem back to the Father. Because they had too much branded in them to be lost for eternity. That's the whole idea of the lamb being slaughtered before the foundation of the world. Oh, they don't know nothing about that, Deborah. They don't know nothing about that. What you talking about, Deborah? Okay. Listen to what he says. To the Jews first and also to the Greeks. So it's telling you here. It's not we run around here. We it is. We it is. We it is. We it is. Sit down. So here Paul is also explaining exactly what the Spirit was saying to me this morning. Tell them, Deborah, I see it, their work, their labor as my servant. Tell them they don't have to cross their T's. You don't have to dot your I's. If I'm greater in you than he that's in the world, what are you doing? Wait a minute, hold up. What are you doing? He's saying you don't have to give the full understanding of nothing. Speak spirit and truth and let it go. Because it's like a body of Hamashiach. Everybody surrounding this body, portraying that they in it and they on the outside, clowning on the outside, saying they on the inside. He said, no. He knows who's in the body. Don't waste your time. Because if they come near my body, guess what? They'll come near you, thinking they can get in. You see? Through your spirit and truth, through your light. Oh, I'm in there. No. Speak that word and keep it running. Okay? So I liked it that. I really did. Let's go to Matthew chapter 4 and verse 23. Matthew chapter 4 and verse 23. Matthew chapter 4 and verse 23. I don't know if this, yeah. Let's see if we can watch this here. Now, this is the example I was sitting here saying to y'all. Watch this here. Matthew chapter 4 and verse 23. And Yeshua, as the word called Jesus, Yeshua, as the word called Jesus. Where's Christ? You lost him, didn't you? You lost him, didn't you? You don't know where he at. So watch this here. Yeshua went about Galilee, teaching in the synagogue, preaching the gospel of the kingdom. Is at what he said of the kingdom. That's what he said. Listen to this. The gospel of the kingdom. Hold up. Didn't Paul tell you the gospel was Christ? Oh, why they didn't get it? Because y'all say stop trying to get people to get something that he didn't give them. It's hard for me though. It's real hard. Because y'all know he been whooping my butt about that for quite a long time. Stop. People are who they already are before you even was born, baby. Don't try to force them or don't try to get them to come into the lane of spirit and truth in the light. Let them stay outside where I know they need to be. Okay? Now listen to this. Matthew chapter 4 and verse 23. Now I just came from Romans chapter 1 and 16. Remember? Explaining to you all that Paul is saying the gospel of Christ. It is the power of God. Right here. Let's see what Yeshua say. Here in Matthew chapter 23, it says, Matthew chapter 4, verse 23. It says, and Yeshua went about all Galilee, teaching in the synagogue. Now, who did that? Who did that? Who did that? Yeshua. Where's Christ? He finna pick him up. Watch him. Watch what he say. And teaching and preaching the gospel of the kingdom. There go Christ. Always was about Christ. The word, the spirit, and the power. So don't run around here trying to break this book down. And I'm talking to the servants of the Most High God. Don't go trying to break it and bring it to the low of the low. Trying to get people to get this. Y'all already got it. He just wants you to know. Don't sit here and hurt yourself trying to cross T's and dot I's. Let everything go. A lot of things, let it go. If it ain't interfering with your mission with him, let it go. Now listen to what Yeshua says. I'm gonna show y'all where y'all messed up. I'm gonna show y'all where y'all messed up, and I'm gonna show you where the world messed up and all these people on these platforms. Now watch what happened. Go back to Matthew chapter 4 and verse 23. Matthew chapter 4, verse 23. And Yeshua, I don't know where Christ is at. We finna pick him up. Went about Galilee teaching in their synagogues and preaching. Now, there's two separate ones, teaching and preaching. What is he teaching? The word. Okay. And preaching the gospel of the kingdom. The power, teaching you about the power of the kingdom. Do y'all hear me? People who are out there ministering on y'all's behalf, do you hear me? You're supposed to be a servant of Yah in this day and time. You're supposed to be speaking spirit and truth with the light in your right hand. Okay? And what you're supposed to be preaching in this day, as Matthew chapter 24 and verse 14, the gospel of the kingdom. That's the power. Tell them they dropped the ball. You ain't got the power. The power is supposed to be he said, and then the end. See, y'all missed it. See, the power said, Deborah, it didn't show up then, but it's going to show up and show out. And then the end. Because they didn't hear me then, but they're going to hear me now. Because the witness is going to be preaching and teaching the power. They're going to hear it. Most of them ain't going to hear it. 99.9 ain't going to hear it. But guess what? What he said about the gospel being preached at the end as a witness, you know what that means? Stand down, clown. He's coming no matter what you say. It ain't important if you get it or not. It's coming. Not that it's coming, it's here. And it's going to preach the power, whether you like it or not. And most likely you're not, because 99.9 ain't going to get it. Do you get that? Servants of the Most High, Yah. Don't break yourself. And don't feel you have to bring this here down to the law of the law. No, don't. Speak it when y'all give it to you and keep it going. Okay? Now listen to what they're saying here in 23. And Yeshua went about Galilee teaching in the synagogue. There he's teaching. He's teaching the word, not the Bible. He didn't have the King James Version. The Catholic didn't, and the Jesuits, they didn't print the book up from out of the scrolls and hand it to Yeshua. So when you hear him saying Yeshua went into Galilee teaching in the synagogue, teaching, he's teaching what? The word. Where did that word come from? Christ. Christ is what? Word, power, and spirit. Stand down, clowns. You thought you had it, didn't you? You didn't. You didn't. Okay, so here he go. And this is where you know you got to be careful, y'all. Be very careful in your way of thinking if you're not a servant of Yah. Watch what he says right here. Look what he says here. He went into the gospel of the kingdom. So now he's talking about the power. Healing, power. All manners of sickness, power. And all manners of disease, power among the people. Stand y'all tails down. Stand y'all tail. Now listen to this. Y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it. Servants of the Most High, y'all get this. This is what he gave me in the dream. Not the dream. This morning in the early morning. Tell them it's the power that they missing and they ain't gonna pick up. So when they're around you trying to question you, trying to stand on top of your authority of what Yah placed in you and he living in you, giving you, shake their tails off and keep it going. Don't even comment to them because they're lost spirits out there. This thing is spirit and truth. They ain't gonna gain that because that's the power. And watch what it says. And I know y'all missed it, and I'm gonna say it. I might have to say it one more time, but I'm trying to get y'all to grip what is being said. Now, this is what it said again. Matthew chapter 4, verse 23. And Yeshua went about Galilee teaching. You think he had this Bible? You think he had the King James Bible? No. Do you think he had the scrolls? No. He had the word in him. Like you're supposed to have it. Oh, yeah. He said, once you receive the Holy Spirit, you shall have power. Ain't that what Yeshua came down with? The Spirit, the Word, and the power. What word are y'all teaching? Man-made word. Y'all teaching man-made, funky, stanky, wicked, darkness, evil word. And they think they on top. But what did it say when it said this? And what? Sit down. No matter what you read, you need the Ruach to be able to bust it in and bust it out. Or he'll take you to it, but he'll bring that back. He'll bust it out so you can get the fullness of what they done screwed up. Because they can't teach it like you can teach it. They can't preach that thing like you can preach it. They can't level that thing like the Ruach give it to you to level. Greater is he that's in you that's teaching thee than he that's in this world with that King James Bible and all these other different religions and so on and so on. Let's get back to this here. I want to show y'all. When you get to Matthew chapter 4 and verse 23, what you don't see is what you don't see. But I'm going to put it here so you can see it, to show you that much is missing and show you how easy it is for you to miss it. And I'm going to break it down like the Spirit in me, burning in me like fire. I'm going to give it to you. Right here in 23, it tells you, and Yeshua went about Galilee teaching. It didn't tell you he had the King James Version or the King James 16. It didn't tell you he had the scrolls. He didn't need that. He had the word. That's who Emmanuel was in him. So that's why he could teach in the in their synagogues. Okay, watch this here. And preaching the gospel of the kingdom. Talking to the people about the power. Y'all's telling us, you servants of the Most High God, when you teach this thing, teach it with the power. Don't go trying to speak this word, precept and line and little here, and trying to break this thing down in a King James 16, 11, 16, 15, 20, or whatever. Pull up that power. Because that's the true gospel. And watch this. This is where y'all missing it at. It's going over your head. And after he called it preaching the gospel of the kingdom, he's telling you, he's talking about the power. Watch this here. And healing all manners of sickness and all manners of disease among the people. You see what he did? How did he do it? Just by preaching the gospel. Just by preaching the gospel. It's all it takes, y'all. That's all it takes. But if you don't know what the gospel is, how can you preach the gospel for healing of disease, sickness of any manner? But because he knew what it is when he preached the gospel of the kingdom, that means anything that's around gonna be healed. Any disease, any sickness. So you see how a lot of times you can't lay your hand on yourself because you're thinking it's the words you said. Oh, Father, come heal this, deliver me from this here arthritis in my shoulders and save me and heal me. Wait a minute now, hold up. Where's the power? Identify the power. It's the only thing gonna kill the disease and the sickness of any source. See how you drop the power? That's why you never got the healing. And guess what? Only one gets the power is those that has been ushered the Holy Spirit. That's why people, you don't hear nobody on none of these platforms talking about the power. But they want to tell you they got the power to control you, manipulate you. They don't even understand you can't teach without the power. So how are they teaching you are? You see how Yeshua, he couldn't do it either. That's why he ain't talking about Christ. He letting you know him teaching was the word. Him healing and the sickness was the gospel of the kingdom, which is the power. You see? So if you ever wonder why you can't go in the hospital and heal nobody, you can't even heal your own self. Because you've been doing it without the power. What you mean they doing it without the power? Don't the power supposed to know? It's supposed to be recognized from the inside out, not from the outside in. Oh, I'm sick and I'm going. I can't understand why. You know why? You've been playing around, portraying you had something that you never had. First and foremost, guess what, y'all? Did y'all know that Yeshua, he wasn't playing? Before he did anything, he was telling the people, his first message was, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. What you mean? Hey, Yeshua, what you mean? Deborah, heaven's down here on earth. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. He brought his power, Deborah. He brought his word and his spirit. It's all at hand. That's what Emmanuel with you mean. He down here with you. See how we did? So here we go. In teaching in the synagogue, the mystery in this here is that you got to detach him preaching the gospel of the kingdom. That's the power. Brought him to the level of healing all. You see that word all? Sickness, manners of sickness, and all manners of a disease among the people. Not two or three, not Gentile, Greek, Roman. All. You see what that power can do? It'll heal everybody around it when you're preaching the gospel. So if you wonder why ain't nobody getting healed, it's because you don't know nothing about the power. Y'all want to lay hands on people like, hey, you got all the power, don't know what the power is. You can't do that. You can't heal yourself because you don't know who the power is. You don't even know if the power's in you or not. And to me, if you're not a servant of the Most High Yah, and the Holy Spirit is not in you, he's in the servants. That's the only thing gonna hold us up. Yeshua was a servant. That's why the word, the power, and the spirit was in him, like unto you. You are a servant of the Most High. The power, the word, and the spirit is in you. Can't nobody tell you not. You can't preach the gospel. Nobody can't tell you you can't heal. Can't nobody tell you you can't speak spirit and truth. Sit down, clowns. They can't tell you nothing. You got it. And this is what he was telling me this morning. Tell him, don't be crossing your T's and dotting your I. You already got it. Speak spirit and truth with the light and keep it going. Because they all going to try to get in this end day. And they not trying to get in to get in. They trying to get in to destroy. There ain't nobody trying to get in to get in. They trying to get in to destroy. That's it. Don't let them in. You don't feel you have to break no scriptures down, no word down, no verses down. You don't have to do none of that. Speak what y'all give you and keep it going. Only he himself knows who's on the outside trying to get in where they don't belong. Okay? So I like that one because it brings you to a level of seeing that the preaching of the gospel of the kingdom was to bring the healing of the sickness and all of it and the disease. He ushered you in to know that the preaching of the gospel is the power. And y'all missed it. You see what I'm saying? You see how easy all of this can be missed? So you see why I say when he woke me up at 2 something this morning, how I was all over the place? Because I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. I read that. Oh yeah, wow. So when you hear him say it, you have heard it says, denying the power therein. He meant that. But everybody trying to teach this thing without the power. How many times I told y'all that? People trying, and people would like I say, people would give me videos, and I'm like, "Damn, do they see spirit and truth in this video? Do they see any power or any truth in it? Do they see any? No, these people are not people of Yah because they speaking some truth. You can't could detach them to speaking some truth that they are spirit, they are the servants of the Most High Yah, and they are the people, they are the not the servant, yeah, the servants of the Most High Yah, or the workers or the laborers of the Most High Yah. Oh no, because they speak truth. Truth it comes two ways. It can come in the spirit and it can come in the flesh. But the thing you have to do is level the one in the flesh to see if it can measure for the spirit. 99%, 90, a lot of times it can, but a lot of times it can't. So you have to be able to measure it. And with me, when I hear truth, I will bring it to your attention that what they speaking is truth. But I ain't gonna take them to the throne. Oh no! I know better. I ain't gonna take them to the throne and say they at the throne because they said something. No, you can't do that. Because somebody say something. I hear all these people on this devil, especially this lady, what's her name, Deborah? She's giving these people so much trash till you don't know what trash is and trash ain't. And it's just no spirit and truth, none whatsoever, all these years. And I'm sitting there saying, these people is captured by the world. They are captured by the outside of those that's outside the body. So listen to this, you guys. Let's go to Galatians chapter 1 and verse 7. Galatians chapter 1 and verse 7. And he was telling me this stuff, and I'm like, but Father, they don't know that. I know they don't. And I'm giving it to you so you can tell them. And I was like, this day I wasn't feeling good at all. And I was like, no, I was going to give him another message. Nope, I'm going to make sure I sit down and just get the verse and break it down. Let the Ruach help me out. And that's how I'm doing this here. Galatians chapter 1 and verse 7. It says, is that right? Galatians chapter 1 verse 7. Which is not another, but there be some that trouble you, that would pervert the gospel of Christ. Somebody in the live, why would they pervert the gospel of Christ? Where's Yeshua in that, y'all? Can somebody tell me where's Yeshua in here? I don't see him. I don't see Yeshua in this. Let's go over that again. This is Paul, the Apostle Paul, in verse 7, Galatians chapter 1, verse 7, which is not another, but there be some that trouble you. This is the people I'm speaking of that will come in and throw out questions and say things to kind of throw you off. But when you speak in spirit and truth, can't nothing throw you off. Throw them off. How about that? Throw them off. How about that? And they would try to throw you off because they can't seem to come in to the body of Hamashiach. So they'll be on the outside trying to bring outside into the inside and don't understand you can't come into the body of Hamashiach if you already have not been branded, marked, you see, and be on the outside, trying to come on the inside. Okay, now watch this here. This is what I'm looking at in Galatians chapter 1 and verse 7, which is not another, but there be some that troubles you. Remember what I was saying? The Father was saying, let stuff go that ain't interfering with your spiritual walk or your spiritual servant labor and work with Yah. If it don't interfere with it, let it go. I mean, don't let it interfere with it. That's what I mean. Don't let it nothing go on, interfere with that part of you. You don't have to be all trying to line things up and make sure this and no, because what he's saying to me, I'm gonna cut it like he said it. What they're doing is they're being their own God to themselves because they're trying to make sure that everything is so straight for them so they won't have no issues, not understanding that, wait a minute, the only one's going to have issues. The only one that should be going through and having a hard time is those that are in the body of Hamashiach. Praise the mighty Yah. People have set themselves up so well to take care of themselves in the world. They didn't give themselves time to think. Wait a minute. I'm crossing my T's and my I's on the outside that I may have everything together on the inside. And y'all want me to let you know he's not with that. Because if you sew together on the outside, what do you need him for? Huh? What do you need him for? If you sew together on the outside and you feel you got A, B, C, D, E, F, G mastered all down and you just got everything working for you and everything is in my world that's on the outside of me is all together. My T's are crossed, my I's are dotted. Once I can get all of this together, then I step in the realm of the spirit. And I speak spirit and truth. And I speak the light. And I speak the gospel of the power. But y'all want me to let you know, baby, this don't run on your time. You better check out who you are and who you work for, who you serve and who you stand for, who you labor for and who you really work for. Is it you or is it me? I have one sister, and I want so much to let her know that her whole life must and need be go the way that it is. It matches mine somewhat. And everybody else would probably say, you all, this, you can't be this, you can't be that because you don't have the things that many people have, or you don't receive what everybody else receive, or you don't get what everybody else get. They don't get it. Let me tell you what he told me. Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all how I was all over the bed last night, early this morning, trying to get this thing together because he was making me feel good. And that's what Yah is about. He's come to let you know you're gonna feel good from the inside, Deborah. And on that inside, it's gonna roll over on your outside. Because what he was saying is people do make sure they got their outer man fully clothed or all together. They got all their clothes on the, oh, that's a good one. They got all their clothes on the outside to cover their flesh. They got all the clothes on, but in their spiritual realm, they have nothing together or orderly because they feel that everything on the outside has to have the T's crossed and the I's dotted. And when it comes down to the spiritual, they want to come in and serve and labor and work for Yah on the inside after they have mastered the outside. But let me tell you what he told me. He said, Deborah, David was rich. I chose David. It wasn't nothing he wasn't in need for. But David wasn't happy. Read the whole Psalms, you'll see. David whining and crying all the time. David never talked about his wives, his children. David never, remember his son was messed with his daughter, his daughter. Remember that? David didn't make a bust a move, did he? All of David's wives, they went to others. David fought war after war after war. Well, what did that money do for him? Being rich. What was all that about? Let's go to Solomon, the richest in the land. Did it do anything for him? No. It don't turn you right, y'all, to have everything on the outside so together when you're serving Yah. Because this is, I know y'all might say Deborah crazy, and I'm gonna go and take you all the way there. Y'all want me to tell you what I thought? First and foremost, I didn't even think that I would be living to reach the age that I am today. You know why? I figured that much is given, much is required. And that when you come to this level that I know that I am with Yah, I can't live no longer. That's it. You see? That's how I saw it. And the thing about it is the struggle is real. You see? And you be saying, okay, let me do your will. Let me do what you tell me, what you give me. I'm putting it out there. But let me tell you, as he was telling me, everybody that he used, they had miserable lives. Y'all never saw or heard Moses and his kids, did you? Mm-mm, mm-mm. He didn't raise his sons. I know people might tell you he did. Mm-mm. Miserable lives because you had to serve Yah. And it wasn't that Yah was making your life miserable. It's a trade-off. A lot of people don't know that. Only one that I found. Only one. Anybody know who that is? Only one I found. Only one. All the things you get together on the earth. This is what I said. I said, now I know that you can, but I don't know if you're willing. My conclusion for me was, okay, so all this you have given me, I just got to die, right? That's just it, right? People don't understand. Once you get your outer man all together from A to Z, got your T's crossed, got you trying to make it like everything level from your outside, guess what? Something gonna go down on your inside. Something gonna go down on your inside. And that's what I dread. I think about my children, they're in good health. I think about me, I'm in pretty good health. But I'm having the hip problems, which I went to the doctor yesterday, and they're gonna tell me they don't see nothing. They took x-rays and everything. They didn't see nothing. Whew! But let me go back to this. I always felt, and I think this is really sad, and it is sad, that or things trade off, Father. Or a lot of things trade off. When you serve this world, and think you got the world set and lined up for you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or I got all this taken care of. Something in the back is coming. So if you speak in spirit and truth, the power, that's what's going to hold you up. But look at David. Look at Moses. Only one that I found. And that was Abraham. That was Abraham. But did you all know when Abraham had that baby, that first son, he loved his son. He didn't want his first son to go. A lot of y'all didn't think of that, did you? Never to see him again. That's powerful. But he thought he had it together. Many things have happened with Abraham. Y'all always came through. Didn't he lose Sarah? But Sarah lived a long life. Everybody have to die. But a lot of people try to get everything on the outside so together so they won't have no need for Yah when they're ready to serve him. I'm serious. Preparing your outer man from A to Z, guess what you're doing? You're serving your flesh and your outer, your way of living first. And then you forsake Yah until all that's together. Then you come in and then now you would want to serve Yah. Yah ain't going for that. Sickness, anything can come up. That's how a lot of it. Look, let's take Solomon. The richest man. I don't believe Solomon had all those wives to were sexual, but all of them was there to really take him from Yah. Or doing what he was called to do. But he had all his T's crossed. His eyes were dotted, y'all. He was the richest. He built Yah a temple. You see what I'm saying? He did all of that. But the way he wanted to live was greater than serving Yah. You see? And they were women that led him from Yah. So your outer way of living can lead you from what you need to be doing. Yah is saying, let it go. Don't put so much emphasis on it as if it's the number one issue in your life. It's the number one or the main thing that you need to take care of. Because a lot of people are taking care of the outer man and not really doing very much for the inner man as far as serving the Most High Yah. Don't forget, what did Yeshua have in him? Word, power, and spirit. He had Emmanuel in him. So just imagine you having word, power, and spirit. And you just let that lay dormant while you taking care of everything else that you figure you need to take care of so you won't have no problems on the outside of you when you start really serving on the inside. Ain't going for it. One gonna have to give. One gonna have to give. And a lot of people, they will get very confused in what I'm saying. But I'm gonna make it short and sweet. If living in your flesh is greater than living eternal in your spirit, go for it. Shoot your best shot. That's all I can say. Shoot your bestest shot. That's all he said. You see? And when it's not balanced, because with me, I thought when I'm going to get sick and die. Because I thought knowing all that he given me, oh, it's time to die. My mother would tell you, I was talking that at 18 years old. I said, I think I'm going to die with a gunshot wound in my head. She said, why are you talking like that? I said, because he keep talking to me. He keep giving me all this information. She said, that don't mean you're going to die. Something's going to happen. What am I going to do with all this? You see? Then I began to think about all those babies. But I never let none of my living and outside overweigh what was greater in me. That was always first. It is such a delight. And this happened to me last weekend when two of my kids came to me separate times. Don't you remember when you used to talk about this and we used to talk about that? Made me feel so good. That shows that, see, you've been laboring, baby, all the time. You left seeds, you left stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I speak so bold and I speak so firm about what I say. It's because I serve them from the inside, first and foremost. To the point where I get to the point, hey, I'm just going to be getting up out of here soon. It's time to go, Father Yah. Is it time to go? Is it time to go for me to go, Father Yah? You see? Because I feel that I'm doing, what I was shut down here to do. And I know we all have to get up out of here, but I'm not going to try to make sure everything living, because I think he got me where he want me to be. Because he figured if he gave me anything more than what he have given me throughout my living, that I might not be as sharp as he is sharp in me. That's how I see it. Because I know that he can. I know that he can. I just don't know if he will. So throughout these years, it shows, wait a minute, hold up, Remember I told y'all it was nothing I could do throughout my whole life that I didn't master. I go into situations just to see if I can master it. I know that sounds silly. Don't that sound silly? But the only reason why I'm going in there because, hey, I know I can do this. Throughout my whole life, I got up on top of a roof and put gutters all the way around the house. Hey, I can do this. That's just stuff that I do. I can do this. Then I turned back to him. I said, well, hold up, Father. Yeah. I can do this as a business, can't I? Father, yeah. I can put toilets in, replace and broken windows and well, I can do this extra job. I can do this to make money. Mm-mm. No, you're not. Mm-mm. No, you're not. And I'm like saying, what? What? Well, am I gonna die? That's how I said. Because it's only so much you can give me, Father. And that is, I'm gonna give you life until I'm finished giving you what I have you to do or have you to say. So you still ain't gonna get out on top. You see? So he's letting me know you didn't come to master living. You come to master the life that I've given you to be about my business. Okay? So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm going. That's where I'm heading. That's where I'm running. That's why I got a lane too. It ain't like it's what the world would call a lane because they wouldn't even last. Okay? So the next one was Galatians, and it was what? Galatians chapter 1 and verse 7. It talks about how some will trouble you and will pervert the gospel of Christ. So let me see if anybody knows what it means when it says convert the gospel of Christ. Let me see if y'all I'm just gonna see if you know. Convert the gospel of Christ. What do that mean? What do you think that means? Converting the gospel of Christ. I'm gonna go and say it. That's sad, y'all. Because he's actually said taking the power out. Exactly. Now, why didn't we know that? Why didn't we preach that? Why didn't we minister that? Why didn't we teach people that? Because they don't know nothing about the power. They dropped the ball in Genesis 1 when the power was thrown down in its creation. Everything it lacked, he talking to the power. That's why they don't know nothing today. Because they didn't know nothing yesterday. But you said it right. Take the power out. So that's also showing you the whole intent is to take the power out. The gospel of Christ. That's the power. So when people say, oh, we preaching and we teaching the gospel of Yeshua HaMashiach, the gospel of Yeshua, we talking about the gospel of Yeshua. Sit down. Ain't no gospel of Yeshua. Yeshua was just telling you. He come preaching the gospel of the kingdom. So how can he be the gospel? I don't get it. But you can't get them. And it's no, like you said, Deborah, don't cross the T's and the I's to give it, to try to get them to a level where they understand. Tell them bye-bye. You too far out in the deep. You don't have no light to see. You don't have no spirit and truth, which is the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit has that power. You don't have it. So why am I trying to teach you spirit and truth and you don't know 1 to 2? Let knows 3. So he said that they will see that convert the power. But see, they don't know what the power is. So you see how lost? You see why the gate is narrow? That's why the gate is so narrow. Let's go to Acts chapter 20, verse 24. In the book of Acts, chapter 20, verse 24. Yes, a lot of them been on YouTube for years and won't come nowhere near teaching you spirit and truth with the light in their right hand. Because they ain't got the light in the right hand, they don't have spirit and truth. What they did is they got you liking them, subscribing to them, and giving them glory and praise. And you need to, if that's your cup of tea. Acts chapter 20 and verse 24 is talking about something. Nope. Yeah, let's go there. And then we go back to Timothy. Timothy has said something too. Acts chapter 20, verse 24, it reads, but none of these things move me, neither count I my life dear unto myself, so that I may finish my course with joy and the ministry which I have received of the Lord Yeshua. Okay. To testify The gospel of the grace of Yah. The gospel of the grace of Yah. Do y'all know what that is? What is the gospel of the grace of Yah? Anybody know? What is the gospel of the grace of Yah? That's deep, y'all. That's really deep. Who knows what the gospel, he said here, and I received the Lord Yeshua to testify the gospel of the grace of Yah. It is the power of Yah's grace. Why is it the power of God? Why is that? You know why? Because what he did is he took his power and poured out grace from one end of the world to the other on every mankind. Grace and mercy. His power poured out grace. Yeah, you're right. Grace and mercy. He poured that power, but how did he do it? Through the power, you guys. He didn't do it when you were born. He did it from the power of his right hand. He poured out grace and mercy. You would think he would pour it out on those that's in the light, those that are spirit and truth, those that are saved, those that has his ruach. No, his power poured it out on all mankind. And we standing around here look like fools, like we ain't got a taste of his power. And we don't know where it is or what it is. That grace and that mercy was poured out by the power. And they teaching and preaching, denying the power. These people are walking up and down and to and fro without the power and convincing the world, which they should supposed to, and portraying that they spiritual. 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 5. 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 5. 2 Timothy chapter 3. No, 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 5. Having a form of godliness. What is that? How can we have a form of godliness? Anybody know? How can we have a form of godliness? And what is a form of godliness? That's a good one, y'all. That's a real good one. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 5. Having a form of godliness. How can you have a form? What is a form of godliness? It makes a lot of sense, though. Someone says, looking godly in their flesh. In what way? Talking with no power. It's letting you know the form is something you got to see. It's like a religion, okay? But the form, it's a form. See, a form you got to see. Am I right? Can I be wrong? Am I right? Or can I be wrong? When I'm looking at, and I don't have that with me, having a form. Do form mean faith? Pull up form. Pull up the definition of form. F-O-R-M. And I think you have to see it. The word form. What is the definition of the word form? And it's going to answer the question. Having a form. Thank you. There it is. There it is. You got it. You got it. You got it. Dress the part. You see that? Praise the mighty Yah. Very good. That's what he's talking about. You know how Sister Deborah tell you all this dressing and all this wrapping your head and no earrings and no makeup or makeup on your face. It don't matter on the outside. Well, who you represent on the inside? Because if you represent the right one on the inside, it's not what you look like on the outside. It's what you're speaking. It's what you're speaking. Because the outside will throw you off. Honestly, it did back in the days. The Pentecostal, like them long dresses, wrapped head, and long blouse. They didn't care if they had no color, no nothing, flowers, whatever. They just like right off the picking cotton field, you know. And that is it. That's you hit it. It's the dress. And this is what he's saying. But listen, what's so sad? Having a form of godliness, because they detach portraying to dress and to look on the outside like they godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. What do you think he mean by that? That's kind of deep. Listen to this. Having the form of godliness, that's letting you know they want to dress it on the outside. They want to portray it on the outside. But denying the power thereof. How can you do that? How can you do that? How can you dress the part on the outside? The reason why I'm saying that now, back in the days, we just went for it. But where's this form of awakening? When is we going to ever get to the light and see things in the light? And him saying, and it's saying here, the form of godliness is because he already knew that everything is going to be godliness based on the outer man. They're going to play the role as a godliness person from the outer appearance, measuring people from the outer appearance. Oh, they're holier than thou. They say they the people of Yah, or they the people of God, and all because you see them. That's why they got so much belief of following the mass and the multitude on this devil platform, because they're looking at them and they playing the role. That's why I don't care how I say words. I don't care how I speak words. I don't care how listen to this, y'all. I pronounce words. I don't care if I got the right definition, because guess what? It's floating with power. And you don't know what that power is unless you got it too. Hello. You see, I like how he separated. That's why the gate is narrow and very few going to find it. It never was intended for the multitude to find the narrow gate. And they don't want to hear that. You'll hear them preach that. Because did you all know if they had to teach and preach that, it would tell you everybody going to hell just about. They don't want to do that. They do not want to. You won't get a pastor preaching. You won't get a bishop, a priest, nobody teaching it, because it will bring light and shine bright. Because it'll tell them, if it said the gate is narrow and very few going to find it, what did that mean for you? What did that mean for you? You see? And they don't want to go there. They don't want to come on this platform and teach you like that. Because that'll tell you the majority of everybody going to hell in a hand basket. And they don't want to give you that type of information, because they soothing and they scratching the itchy ears and rubbing their backs and making them think that, oh, it's like this, it's not like that, it ain't like that. We got to give it to you the way we think you'll be comfortable supporting us, or coming to us and listening to us, liking us, subscribe to us, come to our church, join, give your tithe and offering. This is where all these churches are getting wealthy. It's because they're in the broad gate, and many follows that way. And those who can't find it, they automatically gonna go that way. Even though they said they going to the narrow, they really going the other way. Okay. So I like that. I like that because it's letting you know they got a form of godliness, but deny the power. So they said telling you, what is that saying? What is that saying to you? Wolves in sheep clothing. What does that say? Now, y'all's pulling on me right here, y'all. He's pulling on me right now. The Most High y'all's pulling on me right here. He says something y'all ain't getting. Who is that out there not getting this? Oh, having a form of godliness. Okay, now we know they looking the role on the outside. Okay, they trying to dress the role, but y'all just pointed out to you all something that's very powerful. He said, but look at where it says, but even though they dress in the role, they look in the role. They got their heads wrapped. What did I tell you about over in the Arab countries in them Middle Eastern? And they got these women wrapped all up, covered up, and making you think this has got to do with y'all. You see what I'm saying? See how messed up that is? But this is what he's just showing me here, where it says, but denying the power. So what the Father saying that I want this Anna, y'all gonna get it. And I'm not gonna wait for you to get it because I don't think you're gonna get it. He's saying to me right now as I'm talking to you all, but denying the power. He's saying all of these traditions on the earth that focus on the outer appearance, wanting to look godliness, they intentionally have nothing to do with the power. They know the power is real, but they deny it. How can you deny something and you don't know nothing about it? So he's saying they know about it, Deborah, but they deny the power thereof. So what are you saying, Father? Deborah, they want to dress the role. That's all they want. They want the form of godliness. They don't want the power. It says they deny it. It ain't saying that they don't know the power. They want to deny. All they want is the form. And that's why all of y'all are trapped on these YouTube pages. Because they got y'all thinking they're the form of godliness. But they don't have the power. And what I'm understanding, they deny it. You mean to tell, wait a minute, hold up, Father, y'all. Go back to Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, Deborah. My people, they perish due to the lack of knowledge because they deny truth. So it's in them to deny it. And it's in them to play the role of the godliness look on the outside. And who are they fooling? You all. They trapping all of you all. Real good too. You see? It's saying denying the power thereof. So you wait a minute, Father, y'all. No, Deborah, you know you said it right the first time. But can I say it again, Father, y'all? You mean to tell me they want to look the road? Just to look it? But denying the power? Yeah, that's why you're talking about it tonight. That's why I was telling you all morning. That's how you can get them. They don't have the power. When you speak spirit and truth, that spirit and truth is power. That light is power. It's what's supposed to be spoken in the end days. The true worshiper is supposed to bring that in. They're supposed to usher that in. Matthew's 24 and verse 14, letting you know the end. And then the end. When that power is spoke of again, like it should be spoken of, as a witness, it's going to speak up. And it's going to witness. That's why I say, you guys, people can get on here and they can say, when you don't know this, you don't know this. All I have to say, pull up spirit and truth. Where's your light? They gone. Running. You see the power in spirit and truth. Rest therein. Because they don't know which way to go now. She's speaking a different language now. Where is she coming from? Wait a minute. He said in the end days, the true worshiper would worship him in spirit and in truth. He said, y'all got to come. He said it. I believe it. I know that it's real. Because it lives in me. Okay? So here he just wanted to show y'all that what y'all don't understand, and y'all still don't understand it. I broke it down as low as I can. I can't break it down no more than this. And now he won't even let me get off. Why? Because Deborah, you got another breakdown. Oh, Father, yeah. Where's the other breakdown, Father? Y'all, let's go there. 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 5. Having the form of godliness, they love it. They desire it. Those that's going through the broad gate, they love the form. They love to walk it. They love to act it. They love to try to speak it. Hey, I don't care about how I say something, the way I say it. If I pronounce it wrong, you know why? Hey, true worshipers going to get it. It ain't for everybody. Okay? So watch this here. This is what he's saying. I can't let it go. Denying the power. He's letting you know people are not, it ain't that they don't know about the power. Okay, y'all? He said it ain't that they don't know about the power. They just willingly denying it. Okay, now this is the key. He said, you can't come off, Deborah. You got another one. From such, turn away. What are they turning away from? Anybody know? Anybody know why are they turning away? Such turn away. What are they turning away from? They ain't had it right no way. So what are they turning away from? Let me tell you what it's telling me. That power. They do not want the gospel of the kingdom, which is the power. They don't want it. They want the role. They want the dress. They want to talk, speak proper and look proper, look calm. But when it all said and done, they deny the power, and many of them would turn away before they even desire the power. They don't want nothing to do with the power. So it's just all role playing. You can talk to a lot of elders and elderly, and they'll tell you, I've been in church 10, 15, 20, 30, all my life. But I never believed in it. They tell me that all the time. You see? Everybody want to play the role. So everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody want to go. No one wants to die. That's sad. So I wanted to bring that forth. Did we get Acts 2 Corinthians chapter 5? Let's hit 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17. 2 Corinthians chapter 5 in verse 17. And what is it saying here? 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17. And it reads, therefore, if any man be in Christ, there go Christ again. Now you see what I'm saying? Y'all mess up and run around here and thinking it's about what you say with somebody done told you something. That's okay. You okay. You doing good. You doing good in your living in your flesh. How about that? You're doing good. I said you're doing good. Okay. So here we are in 2 Corinthians chapter 6. Nope, chapter 5. Where am I at? Chapter 5. I'm in the wrong place. Chapter 5 and verse 17. And it reads, therefore, if any man be in Christ, where's Yeshua in that? See? He said, be in Christ. Christ is the word, the power, and the spirit. You see how y'all out of place? You see how out of order you all are? But you say you in there. You got the keys to the kingdom. You already there. You know you going in. But he study said, narrow is the gate, and very few shall find a way. They're in. But yet you already in there. You see? Tell me that ain't messed up from the floor. Now here it is. verse 17. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17. Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature, and old things pass away. Behold, all things become new. Where the problem's at? The problem is this. You keep on trying to come in through Yeshua, and you ain't going to get nowhere. Everywhere I go, everybody said, oh, in the name of Jesus. I said, they need to just shut up and sit down somewhere. In the name of Jesus ain't going to get you nowhere. That's why a lot of them can't hear you. You get sick, you can't even hear yourself. You can't do nothing. Because you ain't in with the power. You're denying the power. Happily denying the power and turn away from it. Because you want to look the role. Now listen to that. That don't even make no sense. That don't make no sense, y'all. Listen to this. Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he didn't say in Yeshua. He is a new creature. So all of y'all are not new creatures. You are not full of the Holy Spirit because you're not a new creature. You thinking you can get in because somebody telling you a Hebrew Israelite is telling you in there, or you done told yourself. You are a new creature. Old things pass away. Behold, all things are become new. So your old ways passes away. You know why your old ways haven't passed away? You know the same thing you were doing before you say you saved and you got the ruach. You still doing it. You still got that pride, that self-centered, that ego, that narcissist. You still got that hate, that jealousy, that envy, that hardened heart, that greed. That's all still there. But yet you say you saved. Oh, I got the Holy Ghost. I got the Holy Spirit. I got the Ruach HaKodesh. Where did you get it from? Where did you get it from? You see, he's sitting here telling you in Christ. He is a new creature. Old things pass away. Behold, all things become new. What's new in you? Outside your old self. How about that? See, Christ is that power that was been fully denied even to today. People running around here wants to be in the midst of Yah, but don't want to recognize he is all power. And how are you going to get to A to Z, or no, A to B, or A to B, or A to B, or 1 to 2, or 1 to 2 without the power? They think they're there already. But then he said, wanting you all to know, the gate is narrow, Deborah. Very few shall even find it. But no, we all got it. We all going. Going where? Okay. And then he says, old things pass away. Behold, all things become new. This is also, verses I gave you tonight shows you that Yeshua is separate from Christ and Christ is separate from Yeshua. But they are oneness in the will of the Father. They come in the fullness of the oneness of Yah, like you and I, who are Ruach, Holy Spirit filled with the Ruach, which is Christ. All the three that Christ has, we have in us. Those are the only ones going to come to anything, coming to any unity or anything, but they don't get it like that. And that's why I was saying that Yah said the servants that's out here serving him and teaching this thing also understand. Don't hurt yourself trying to break this stuff down to people. Look how Sister Deborah have done it for 7 years. Look how much spirit and truth you've gained. Look how much light you received. Look how Yah is showing you himself in you. And you trying to figure out why you can't get others to understand it, or you can't preach it and you can't teach this. You can't break it down. No, don't worry about nobody else and what somebody else is saying. They cannot beat your spirit and truth. They cannot outride your life. That's what y'all want y'all to know tonight. So I want to go here to 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 16. 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 16. That was a pretty good one there, y'all. 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 17. It's telling you about Christ. See, they don't get that. But it ain't meant for them. So when Sister Deborah trying to figure out, well, why are they all on here talking and ain't nobody talking spirit and truth, ain't nobody talking with the light, that's why. It wasn't meant for them too. First Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 16, and it reads, for though I preach the gospel, which is the power, I have nothing to glory of. I have nothing to glory of, for necessity is laid upon me. Yet woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel. Do you all know who is this? Paul? I think it is. Do you all understand what he's saying? Do y'all understand what Paul is saying here? Let's go into that again, which I kind of feel, yeah, that's Paul. Listen to this. First Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 16. For though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of. For necessity is laid up for me. Yea, woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel. Everybody serving, that you're serving Yah, you're doing the labor and the work. You're preaching the gospel. Let me explain to you. It is spirit and truth. It is the light. Paul just told you right here, woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel. So all these people on these devil platform out here teaching y'all, calling it the gospel, they're teaching it without the power. Paul letting you know that he ain't playing with me. See, that's why I try to tell y'all, he don't play with me like that either. Y'all is not one to be played with. And when I say that, I'm saying in a sense, if he's human or if he's flesh or he's some type of man. No, you better recognize he's the creator of all things, the heaven and the earth, with all power, all authority, all wisdom, all knowledge, all understanding. Step down, clowns. Okay, so here, Paul, if you really look at it, Paul is telling you he can't glory even from it because it ain't his glory. It's my Father's glory. The gospel is not your glory. It's the Father's. How is the gospel, the power? It's going to be yours. And you glorying out for it. That's what he's making this sense. And that's what Paul is saying. He ain't got no glory in this. He ain't got no business having none. So he's saying, for necessity, it is laid up upon me. Yea, woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel. You can't do that, y'all. Yeshua came down here trying to tell us the gospel is at hand, y'all. The gospel is at hand. I come to preach the gospel. The gospel is at hand. The kingdom of the, no, he said, the gospel of the kingdom is at hand. All before, that's what's the start of his ministry. How did they miss that? Who is he talking about that is at hand if he's the gospel, if he is Christ, if he is God? What's this gospel he says at hand that he come to preach about? Then he tell you everything is his Father. He letting you know Christ is my Father. That's that Emmanuel that came down with me in the flesh to help me. I needed help. We need help. So stop it. Stop making it like it's you, all that in some. Put y'all back where he belongs, because he ain't going nowhere. If you are a servant of the Most High God, don't take him out of his order or out of his place, because you couldn't even if you tried. How about that? How about that? So here Paul is telling you, wait a minute, y'all, I'm in trouble if I don't preach the gospel. So where are you? Are you in trouble? Yes, you are. You just don't know it. Not yet. Okay. So the next one is let's go to Hebrew chapter 4. In Hebrew chapter 4 and verse 12. Hebrew chapter 4 and verse 12. And the last one is going to be Romans chapter 2 verse 8 through 10. Hebrew chapter 4 and verse 12. What is this going on? I don't remember this. For the word of Yah is quick, mhm, and powerful, mhm, and sharper than a two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing as under of spirit and spirit, of flesh and spirit, and of joints and marrow, and is the discerner of the thought and the intent of the heart. So this is here also I like because he's telling you how the word of Yah is quicker and powerful. You see, so understand, y'all. Are you gonna tell me you can get healed? If I hit myself in the head, I can get healed. That's how much power in this word. Come on, see if I get healed with this book. Yah is the power, not the word. Yah is the word, and the word is Yah. The word was with Yah. The word works with the power, and the power works with the word. Sit your tail down. Stop it. If you ain't got it, you ain't got it. Don't fake it, thinking you gonna make it. You would prefer to go to get it right than to run around here keep faking it. Well, wanting the appearance of godliness. That's why nobody wants to listen to nobody, because they want to play the role. They want to appear with the form of godliness, and then ain't speaking with no power. And but you expect everybody to hear you and understand you and listen to you. So here in Hebrew chapter 4, verse 12, for the word of Yah is quicker and powerful. See, in the beginning, which I didn't understand in the book of Genesis, he did what? He spoke the word by saying, let it be this. Who are you saying let? The power. He's telling his power what to create. The last is Romans chapter 2, verse 8. In the book of Romans, chapter 2, you all, I don't know if you noticed, I transitioned finally, and that's probably why I'm still not to part, because it's still a journey. I've moved from one location to another. And let me tell y'all something. That is not how I rumble. And I know what time. I know I'm getting old. Because like I said, I'm like, bam, 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 I'm there. This time, it took the whole month. And I still feel like I'm missing something. Okay, let's go here. The last verse. Romans chapter 2 and verse 8 through 10. Let's see what this is saying. I don't know what I read out of this, but this is the last verse. And it reads in Romans chapter 2, verse 8 through 10. But unto them that are contentious and do not obey the truth. That's the majority, 99.9. Let's put it like that. But obey unrighteous, indignation, and wrath. Now, how could you do that? Wait a minute. Something ain't making no sense. You ain't going to obey the truth, but you will obey unrighteous, indignation, and wrath? Verse 9. Tribulation and anguish upon every flesh of man that doeth evil. Of the Jews first, and also of the Gentiles. Now, I'm going to correct a lot of y'all out there. Every last one of y'all tells, I'm going to correct. A lot of people be looking at Sister Deborah all cockeyed talking about, she always talking about Judah and our people. You see what I'm saying? This is how dumb people really are. This is how dumb people really are. They think that you're supposed to be talking to the world. The devil taking care of them. I'm talking to the one that he sent me down here to be a prophet among. I ain't no prophet among the Gentiles and the heathens. I'm a prophet among Israel and Judah. Can I say something to the Gentiles and the heathen? Yes. Can I teach the Gentiles and the heathen? Yes. Why? Because you got power, which is spirit and truth in the light. It can say something, teach anybody. How about that? But the problem I have is when you begin to talk about Judah and you know that's your tribe, talk. It's just like with me. I raised 6 children. If I had a problem, which I didn't, I'm gonna tell y'all something, y'all. I didn't have hardly no problem with my kids going to elementary school, high school, all that fighting and all that, getting in trouble, suspended. I didn't get all that. But if I had an issue, which I did get some, but not nothing like most people talk that they didn't have with their children. But if I get up there and they say, well, okay, Joseph did this or Charles Jr. did this, you better get it right. Because what they do here, I should be seeing it there. And guess what, y'all? I always nail it. Always. If they said Joseph done something that I know that I've seen him done, oh yeah, okay, I can hear you now. That's him. That's mine. Yep, he did. That's how I always been. So if I'm like that with my own, that y'all have trusted me to bring in and to teach this word and to train them up and to do what I'm supposed to do as a parent, what makes you think I'm not going to say nothing to this whole tribe that y'all been trying to deal with since the beginning of time and still ain't got a word through them? Paul, Noah, and Ark. I just think about the time you had having to convince them people. You didn't even try to convince them, but y'all didn't stop you from going to tell them anything all those years, knowing that ain't one gonna come up, but he didn't stop you from to warning them because that's how y'all rumble. So what happens? Judah, right here at Romans chapter 2 and verse 8. Listen to this. Romans chapter 2 and verse 8. Just listen to this. Let's go to verse 9. Tribulation and anguish upon every flesh of man that doeth evil, of the Jews first, and also of the Gentiles. You see what I'm saying? Jews first. See what Israel and Judah keep doing while they in captivity. They blaming everybody. They have not, will not, shall not own that thing. And I have already gripped the fact when they denied Deuteronomy 28 end game. That told me all I need to know. I said, this is a people gone for real, Father. They denied the whole Deuteronomy 8 end game. The whole Deuteronomy 8 end game. They denied the whole thing. They don't preach it. They don't teach it. They didn't minister it. They say they awakened, but they're not. Because if you awaken, you'll be awakened up to Deuteronomy 28 end game. So what happened? He's saying to the Jews first, y'all letting us know, Judah and Israel, check. See, while you running your tail talking about, we the people, we the this, y'all constantly telling you, I'm coming, anything I'm coming after for evil and wicked will be you first. See? And then y'all will look at me all cockeyed because I'm talking about my nation. You see? You will look at me stupid because I'm telling you about my nation, just like I would do at anywhere I have to go. If the police pick up my son and I go down there, they say he did it, I know if he did it or not. How about that? You see? Because I know my son. A lot of these people don't know their kids. 99.9. But by the grace and the mercy of Yah, he has suffered me to get to know mine. Just because you don't know yours don't mean I don't know mine. Say he do something, I'm going to tell you if that's him or not. But if you don't do it, I'm going to tell you that too. You got the wrong one. That ain't my son. You see? So here he's saying to the Jews, now, I don't even think y'all getting this. And you're not going to. This is another one that y'all was saying to us when we are laboring and ministering spirit and truth in the light, and we're shining the light. Don't expect people to understand it. Kick rocks. running. Now listen to what it says. Verse 9, tribulation and anguish upon every flesh of man that do it evil. That do it evil. He's telling you what he's going to put on them. They do it evil. First, the Jews. So now you don't want to be the Jews, right? He ain't talking about the Jews over there in Israel. He's talking to one talking about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We the people, we the true Jews. That's what he's talking about. Let's bump it up to verse 8. Romans chapter 2. Is that right? No. Romans chapter 2, verse 8. But unto them that are contentious, and do not obey the truth. Do not obey the truth, but obey unrighteousness, indignation, and wrath. Tribulation and anguish upon every flesh of man that doeth evil, of the Jews first. So y'all want to bypass. I see that old stupid lady named Deborah. She does the same thing. Bypass. Oh, he's doing it to America. Oh, he's doing. Fool you in America. What the rat's behind you talking about? Everything that's touching this earth is touching your tail. You got to get past blaming America and saying America this, America this. Is they doing it? Yeah. Don't you see how it Revelation 18 dealing with them? But that don't put you out of it. You still got your tail here. Why? Because you don't want to teach the power. That's what our mouth should be teaching. We should be geared to trying to teach the power. Because he said in Matthew 24, in verse 14, and the gospel shall be preached to all nations. I mean, the power going to step out, and all nations going to witness it. Because I got mine speaking spirit and truth. They got the light in their hand. How about that? I got mine out here speaking spirit and truth with the light in their hand. And they talking about the power. That's how the power is being preached. Then you might say, well, it ain't getting all over. Oh, all these mediums. It's all over the world, baby. That's all nations. Now, this is the sad part. It ain't meant for them to take it and do something with it. It's meant for them to still continue what they're doing. He just wants you to fulfill that part of what he said shall come before the end. So the servants and those that labor, be about your Father's business. Spirit and truth and the light. And don't forsake the power that rests therein. Speak that bad boy. That's what the whole world is missing. But guess what? Y'all say they're not missing it, Deborah. That's what's being preached right today. That's what's being preached. That's why a person can say something and they'll throw in something totally different in what you said. Why? Because they're trying to throw you off. Because they don't understand what you're saying. Because what you speak in power, they're over there speaking what I said, great old America. And they think that's preaching. You see, they doing things on the opposite end of what they should be doing. But they doing it because that's who they are. That's their creative position, to be doing exactly what they're doing. Nothing. So Sister Deborah, I say unto you, I hope you got something out of it. But even if you didn't, this morning, I got a lot. And I give Yah all glory and power and honor for him being all that he is, all that he was, and all that he's going to be. But I tell you one thing, no matter what Yah is, he's detached to the power. And if you think that you're already there, you got your keys, good for you. You better make sure you got the key to where you think you're going. Because you could have the key to the other place. So Sister Deborah, appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in. Like I say, I hope you got something out of it, because 2 a.m. in the morning, it wasn't exactly 2, it's like 2:35 a.m. in the morning, he tossed and turned with me on this power. And it helped me a great deal. It helped me to realize, see how you have to run on? You have to run on, Deborah, Don't go trying to cross the T's and dot the I's. Just run on. Just run on. And then he began to tell me all the things that all these other servants that he has done. The servant that he got out now, we ain't done near as much as the servant that he had before, but yet they still was his servant. So we can't be bending ourselves, putting ourselves down, because we're in the end days and it's worse than yesterday. Just know he got you. He said he's going to hold you blameless while he got you. Okay? So I, Sister Deborah, appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in. I'm glad I was able to come back. I had to come back. I had to come back for you all. I've been sick with this hip problem. Went to the doctor yesterday, stayed at the hospital emergency. They didn't find nothing. But I still don't feel good at all. But I'm going to keep on keeping on. And the reason why I've been off is transitioning. I was trying to transition from one place to the other. Do you know I just got my internet on here yesterday? Yesterday. And I was thinking about what video what I'm going to say in my message. And this morning when y'all gave me that, I said that's a good way to start, jump back into the plan. But that's why I've been off transitioning and my pillow fell. But I was to the internet. They hadn't. I don't know why. It was the strangest thing. It took them all this time to cut on the internet, and then it didn't work. So we had to wait another day for the service. The equipment supposed to be here one day, 4 days later. It was just a whole chaotic. And as I was trying to transition, I was doing it at the other house while the cable there was still on. I was trying to transition. I couldn't get it done. I try to put out a video here and a big video there, but now I'm ready. I'm ready to get back in to the move in the groove of spirit and truth. And I want to say to you all, it's nothing worth living for than Yah. Take this time and walk in Him, talk in Him, deal in Him, listen to Him, abide by Him, because y'all, I don't think it's even meant for you all to really see it unless you're in the spirit realm, what is actually taking place. It is so much distraction. And I'm like saying, is this because what is about to happen? Yes. And it's got those that's not about what they should be. They got their eyes over here, 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 here. So many things going on these internet, in the media, that's throwing you, all of it is lies, y'all. All of it is to take your whole focus off really what's going on. And everybody is getting entangled into the distractions, not paying attention. And the way that they do it, it was like, with Donald Trump. He's a really dumb man, but he's going around doing a lot of stuff to put in your face to keep you all from talking about certain things, like him and the other guy. But he put up there instant, well, let me throw Obama in there, say I'm gonna lock him up. You can't lock no president up. You ain't got the power and authority. But what did he know? The stupid people in this country will believe, because he thinking he's giving the white supremacists and all them this thing that he's trying to be on their side, and to correct a lot of things that he thinking making America great. Making America great again is not making America great. It's fulfilling Revelation 18. America, great America has fallen. It's letting you know. And he was telling me that the father was saying, Deborah, they worded it a way that people can't see what's going on, the truth of the whole matter. And I'm like, but how did they get to do that? How did what's in heaven is bound If it's bound in heaven, it's bound on earth. But Deborah, if it's loosed in heaven, it's going to be loosed on earth. So therefore, it ain't about him rolling the ball. The ball been rolled out already. It's about them stepping in the road and catching the ball and running it according to his will. You see, whether it's good or whether it's evil. He said he created the evil for the day of evil. And that's what we're in. Evil in the darkest of the darkest of this day. So I, Sister Deborah, like I said, I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in. And I guess I will call it a day. And I say, shalom and a shalom.